This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global, joined by Jamie Moore. Just seen him in Liverpool the other week, last week in fact. A little bit different here in Las Vegas. Obviously just done a long interview yourself now, another one. You've got to keep up with me for about 15 more minutes, Jamie.
Don't worry about that, mate.
Of course, preparing for Carl Frampton. He's back in Las Vegas. Talk to me about Tyler. We don't know too much about him. Is it going to be a good test for Carl?
Well, I think fights like this, McCreary's a bit of an unknown quantity. You know, he's unbeaten, 16 wins, 1 draw, but not at the level what Carl's boxed at. So that doesn't mean that he can't compete at that level. It just means that he's not boxed there yet. So it's a bit of a gamble in one sense, but his style, I believe, is suited for Carl. Carl likes that sort of style. He's your typical sort of American sharpshooter, upright, nice jab, but likes to dictate the pace. And I just feel like, you know, they sent us three opponents, and this one for me suited Carl style-wise. So I think he'll look good. I think it won't be easy, but I think Carl will solve the problems early on, and I think he'll look good down the stretch.
Well, the impression I've got from yourself and Carl speaking to him, and I've only been joined by you for like 20 minutes in Las Vegas, is that you're definitely not overlooking Tyler McCreary. And Carl said Tyler seems to think that Carl is overlooking him. I don't know where that's come from. Never
in a million years. And you think when you're boxing at this level and fighting on stages like this, you know, and it's not just this, it's the fight after it. You know, if you overlook somebody like Tyler McCreary, first of all, he's stupid. And second of all, it could mess up all your future plans. So in a weird sort of way, these fights are as important or even more important than the next ones. So, you know, Carl's ultimate goal is to be a world.
Okay, just picking this back up with Jamie Moore. Of course, with Carl, he's such an established fighter that people are, like myself, are going to talk about what's mapped out next for him. We know top rank have Oscar Valdez and Jamel Herring, 2 great opportunities for Carl to win another world title, and fights that can be easily made, same promotional company.
Yeah, of course. Top rank have got 4 or 5 fighters at featherweight or super featherweight where there's options for Carl. So again, that's the reason why you can't overlook someone like McCreary. He really has got to go, make an impression, show people that he's still boxing at that level. You know, he's still. But you know, there's a few people saying that they feel like he's over the hill and he's not the fighter he was. And from what I've seen in the gym, he's as good, if not better, than he has been before. He's performing so well. So, you know, it's not just a matter of winning. It's a matter of winning and looking good doing it, and then sending out a message to the world champions out there. You know, that means business. Bob Adam is promised him that he can get him a world title shot. So I'd like him to win a world title and walk away. I've got to be honest. These massive fights out there for Carl, but it's not all about money. It's about, you know, cementing your legacy and getting out healthy and enjoying the rest of your life with your family. And you know, Carl, you know, is there going to be options for him to fight in bigger fights if he does win a world title? Of course there is. There's always going to be that option, but that option is never going to be there again of retiring as a world champion and cementing your legacy as probably the greatest fighter from Ireland. And you know, he's already set himself up financially for the rest of his life, so it's not about the money, it's about his legacy. And I'd love nothing more than for him to win a world title and walk off.
Unfortunately, he was saying it seems like that Santa Cruz trilogy doesn't look like it's going to materialise, but there is a potential rematch with Josh Warrington there. If them world title shots don't come off with Herring and your man Oscar Valdez, then a huge fight in the UK would be Josh Warrington.
Of course it is, I've just said that. You know, ideally, Santa Cruz would have been the ideal fight for Carl, but he's come to terms with the fact that he doesn't think it's going to happen. Herring is an option. I don't think Carl's, you know, a natural super featherweight. He can definitely still make featherweight comfortably, but it's an option. You know, I think Herring's a big guy. He's a big super featherweight, but you know, I'd be more concerned if he was going to be going in there with a big, strong pressure fighter, whereas the Herring fight would be more of a boxing match. But the Josh Warrington rematch is one that I know Carl wants. I'd like that fight. I think that even though the first fight was so good, I think it definitely sell again. But I think Josh, I understand from his point of view. He's already beat Carl, and he's going to want the bigger fights himself. So I understand that. But if those options aren't there for him, then I'm sure that Carl would be sort of a massive option financially. It'd be well worth his while. It'd give him the chance to sort of not shut the people up who were saying Carl wasn't right on the night, and it'd give us the opportunity to prove that we can do a different job. So it's a massive fight. A rematch, a fight of the year. Who don't want to see that?
Yeah, I guess a situation where Josh is looking to come to America and secure, big paydays and big fights, mega fights. But if he can't secure that, and Carl can't secure the fights against Jamel and Oscar, then it would make sense for them just to get in the ring, really.
Of course it does. I mean, if they're both in a situation where there's limited options, and then that is the best scenario and the best, it makes sense for both fighters, then it'll be a fantastic fight. Let's see what happens. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. So if they both find themselves in that situation, then it's meant to happen.
What's it like for you now, Jamie? Obviously, you've been in boxing as a fighter, as a pundit for a long time, but as a trainer, a relatively short time. And you've got an established living legend in Carl Frampton, someone like Rocky Fielding, fighters like Martin Murray, so many more, Wardy. Working with all these fighters, top level fighters, what's it like? Because I said it's been a relatively short time for you.
I've trained Tommy Coyle for 6 years. So I was doing that as a favour to Steve Wood. It was never an ambition of mine to be a trainer. And then, unfortunately, when my coach Oliver Addison got sick, he asked me if I could help out training with Martin and Rocky while he was trying to get himself right, and that's how that situation came about. And then, sort of around about the same time, Carl rang me and asked me if I was still training fighters, because that was the situation was I was training Tommy and that was it. So I explained the situation to him that I'd just recently started training Martin and Rocky to help Oliver out. So he asked if he could come over and do a bit of a trial, and that's when it started off. So then Stephen came, Conrad came. Then not long after that, Jack Catterall came to me and asked me if he could train, and then Chantel came, and it just sort of snowballed. So I'm not going to lie, it was pretty hectic in the sense of I've gone from being pretty relaxed and laid back and doing a bit of punditry and doing a bit of personal training and training Tommy Coyle, only Tommy for fights, to going into having to manage 7 or 8 pro fighters who are fighting back to back on the back of each other, and sorting out their training regimes, where they're up to, the sparring. It was difficult, but we sorted it out. I've got Nigel Travis helping me out, so I've got that's been a massive reason why this has been possible in the first place. We wouldn't have been able to do it without Nigel's help. So look at the situation. What's happening now? Jack Carroll is in Dubai boxing on Friday, and the only reason that's been able to happen and that we can keep it in house without having to bring somebody else in or ask somebody to do the corner for him is because Nigel's there available to help out. So it really is a team effort. We manage it. It's stressful, but I'm loving it. This isn't a job to me. Who gets paid to go to Las Vegas with Carl Frampton and do something? I've been a massive boxing fan. I've loved boxing since I was 10 years old. I started at 13. I was obsessed with it. I was like an anorak. I've studied it all my life. So for me to be able, it's like going to school and go to university, and then whatever you went to university to study, you're then able to go and get paid for doing something you've been obsessed with all your life. It really isn't a job, and I feel blessed.
Oh, that's nice to hear, Jamie. Do you see yourself doing punditry ever again after you're done with your training career, perhaps?
I'm still doing it. So I've had to really cut down, because every time. So for instance, the last 3 or 4 times Sky asked me, I just couldn't do it because I had fighters on the same bill or somewhere else on the same night. But I did the international feed for Kovalev.
So I was here, so I didn't see that on Sky. That's why.
It wasn't on Sky, so I did the international feed. So which means the rest of the world. So my mate rang me or left me a message from Australia saying I'm just listening to doing the commentary. I'm still doing stuff for Talk Sport and 5 Live on radio when I can. I did Josh Warrington's last fight for BT Sport. So I'm still doing stuff. It's just I don't get the opportunity to do it now. So I've been saying to Nige, I'd be able to give these lads my undivided attention and try and develop them and give them, try and pass everything I learnt on as a fighter to them for the next 10 years. You know, I've got AHMED now. He's 3 fights in. In an ideal world now, I don't want to take anyone else on because I've got this little bit of a bit of a plan mapped out in my head, and I want to give it a good 10 to 12 years. You know, train all these fighters I'm committed to, but you know, as the years go on, as the stable gets smaller, because you know Carl's not going to fight forever. Carl, Martin, and Rocky, I'll probably give it a year, 18 months, and they probably won't be fighting. I don't know how long Tommy's going to go on for. I don't think he'll be fighting for much longer. So my stable will really shrink, but I'd rather it be smaller and me and Nige be able to give our undivided attention to these guys and then enjoy it a little bit more. Obviously, there'll be less money coming in, but it's not really about the money. It's about the enjoyment and giving the lads the opportunities what they deserve. So I'd like to do that, and then my big plan is in 10, 15 years time, I want to retire in Tenerife. I'll walk off into the sunset, and then I'm going to open a little bar restaurant up. I'm going to be pretending I'm Rocky Balboa and tell people the stories about the fights and stuff like that.
Wow, you really have got it mapped out, haven't you? Jamie, I do want to address the situation Carl had with George Groves. I asked him about it. What did you make of their back and forth on Twitter?
Listen, it's social media and it is what it is, and I just laughed. As soon as I seen it, I laughed. I know what Carl's like, I know what his sense of humour is like. He says a lot of stuff tongue-in-cheek, and oh, sorry, okay.
We're getting kicked out at Starbucks. Right, just picking this back up with Jamie Moore. Hey?
It's a big background, that.
Yeah, as I said, picking this back up with a slightly peculiar background. Just been chucked out of Starbucks, which was quite an episode. Jamie, yeah, we were talking about the spat between George and Carl on Twitter a couple of weeks back. Yeah, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, just like I say, I could tell that Carl was being tongue-in-cheek, like he was a bit cheeky, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's social media. It's not real life, and you know, I'm sure if they're seeing each other face to face, I'm not saying they'd be best mates, but it's just one of them things, and it's just so I had it with Scott Quigg. And he's not happy. We're going to get flung again here now.
We're getting thrown out again. So we haven't been thrown out. So we haven't been thrown out. Security just walked past and we all crapped ourselves, but we're all right.
Yeah, everyone started shouting and Carl flapped it.
Look, he's still going.
I see. He's just had word now. He's coming back telling us.
Fuck him. Did you see Rocky's tweet about it the other day? That was quite funny.
About
the whole thing with George and Carl. Did you not see it?
No, I've not seen it. No.
Right, so Carl put a picture up with his kid, and I think Rocky said, "Oh, it looks cute. He'll grow up to be a half pint one day."
Oh. See, now that's crap. That's the banter between your mates, isn't it? So, but listen, that's what I'm saying to you. It's social media. It's just a bit of a laugh. People take it too serious. It's not real life. Do you know what I mean? It's social media. I'm trying my best to stay off it as much as I can because, especially in situations like this where you're away from home, you become a scroller where you're just constantly refreshing and scrolling, and it's not healthy, man. I'm trying my best to stay away from it.
Good thing with the 8-hour time difference is though that everyone's asleep in the UK. So once it kind of gets to the daytime in here, you can't even talk to anyone. So you just put your phone away. That's what I've been doing.
Well, by the time you get to night time now, and you keep refreshing, and nothing comes back up. So yeah, it's a good thing. But it's making me better poker player. I'm actually concentrating more on poker on my phone, so it's better.
Okay. Have you won much?
I've done all right. 140 quid, didn't I? Yeah, for 20 quid. So I'm doing all right, mate. A novice.
You told me the night about when you lost about $300.
No, oh, mate, listen, I've lost a few quid over the years. Don't worry about that, yeah.
All right, Jamie Moore. It feels a bit awkward because we've just been doing this for like a minute and a half. But as I said, we got chucked out by security. That's all I wanted to wrap up on.
It could just be like an extension of the other one, surely.
Oh, no, that's what it
was.
was.
Obviously with a different backdrop.
Yeah. Have we got a different backdrop? I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, you're not getting to that. No, it was AHMED last time on it in the background.
All right, Jamie Moore, thank you very much for your time here. Big shout out to Jack Cattrall in Dubai this Friday night.
Come on, Jack. Let's do it, son.
And also big shout out to man Carl Frampton back in Las Vegas, and also Akib Fiaz, December 7th.
Yeah, first 6 rounder. Keep it out for this kid. It's going to be special. No pressure, like, you know what I mean?
And then Wardy as well on Sky Sports Golden Contract Tournament December 14th. It's all going off.
Yeah, busy. We've had, by the time Christmas comes round, we'll have had 7 fights in 6 weekends. So we had Chantel, then Martin and Rocky last weekend, Jack Carroll this weekend, Carl the weekend after, Akib, and then Stephen Ward. So busy, but it'll be well worth a break at Christmas.
Have you told Rocky to stop posting that knockout on social media now?
No, I've posted it a few times. Oh, mate, what? That's one for the highlight reel. That is. I mean, Rocky's always been out of punch, but yeah, I think we're getting kicked out again now. But that was one of those. It all sort of came together. His timing was good. His combination punching was good. It's beautiful.
Well, let's end it there.